game, and all of a sudden I need more chairs in here. Because that's really all it was one game. It was a great win over Houston, historic, based on the rankings of the teams, and gives us a barometer of where we are right now. And then it's a long season. We got a lot to work on, and a lot of challenges in front of us. And but I was proud of our kids. I was proud of Janai Broom's leadership. I was proud of just the unselfishness. Some of the guys didn't either score as much as they normally score, or had different, moments during the course of the game where they weren't as good as they can be, or but they were just as happy after the win as if they had a dominating performance. That's what teams do. So I thought the guys came back to practice yesterday humble and hungry, and recognizes that we've got a Kent State team coming in tomorrow that is picked third in the MAC. That's been in the NCAA tournament several times. Their coach has beaten Power 5 teams, I think 4 times at Kent State in his career on the road. I know they played Gonzaga, and really tough. They're old and they're experienced and they're deep, quick, and they're very well coached. So it'll be, for us, it's going to be, can we play that with the same energy, sense of urgency, if you will? Because look, if you didn't put yourself in the right place at the right time against Houston and you were late, they were going to make you pay. And of course, that's what you have to do to survive an opponent like that. But we'd like to play that way every night.
Bruce, I think it's 76 combined minutes for Denver and JP this year, and they have not committed a foul yet on defense. How much does that help you guys on that end on your perimeter defense when you have 2 guys that are defending as well as they are, especially Denver, and not giving away fouls?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I remember, I think it was either at Furman or against Florida International where Denver had some fouls. But the art of not fouling and playing great defense and playing hard is really an art. And particularly for Denver, I think he's one of the best defensive guards in the country. And he came here as the leading scorer in Conference USA, averaging 21 a game. And he has just been so unselfish and such an amazing teammate. And he has become a great defender, which is going to make him more attractive at the next level. Because we know what he can do offensively. We know he can shoot the basketball and get downhill. And now that he's playing some point guard, he's going to be a really good pro. And JP is just so solid. He takes great care of the basketball. He can make open shots. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and really has got some good feel and instincts defensively. And he knows he's on a team where defense is really enforced, and required.
All right, Justin, Lee, and then Peter.
Bruce, just what's next for Tahad? I think about, he has that first big game, right? I think about like Jabari against Syracuse early. Just what after he has that first big game, what do you tell him, and then what's next?
Oh, I can't tell you the things that I've told him, so to keep his head on straight. No, I'm happy for him because being a little undersized, people have always respected Tahad's game, but he've always had to look up to a bunch of other guys in his class that were just prototypically bigger, stronger, more highly rated. That never bothered Tahad. I don't think he plays with like a chip on his shoulder, but he knows he's as good as the best freshman in the country, and obviously got a chance to show it on that stage in that moment. Now he is a freshman, so he's going to have, like the Dow Jones, he'll be up and down some, but he's really coachable. He's been a great teammate. He wants to get better. Comes from a great family. I've said this several times. It was, the importance of families trying to have that foundation for those kids. So many of our best players and our pros and the guys that have just made it through college in flying colors had great support at home, and that's certainly the case. But Tahad's got work to do. He definitely has work to do. But boy, oh boy, that's why if he could see it, he could make it. And that ball wasn't even touching the net. That's how that thing was going through the cylinder. Gotta build on
Hey Bruce, do you have any update on the status of Jaheim and Jakai, going forward, whether or not they'll be available tomorrow?
it. Well, it was obviously an unfortunate situation with dealing with it head on. Those guys were in class and practice on Monday.
Anyone else have a question?
Bruce, you talk about guys staying right and ready all the time. Simo, especially in that first half, the way he played defense, just what can you say about him and just being able to fill in when you guys were a little undermanned in that one?
You took the words right out of my mouth. He stayed right and ready. And we had talked to Simo a few days earlier just about that. And I wouldn't, not that I'd be the least bit worried about him not staying right and ready, but I just wanted to remind him the importance that we all know. Everybody on that bench at some point is going to get an opportunity, and I think we're ready for it when the opportunity presents itself. And so I thought Chris was his one-on-one closeouts against some of Houston's best guards, where they simply couldn't go by him, where he stayed on the floor, he was second off the floor. And the thing I loved about it with our bench is our bench gets as jacked up over that as they done somebody making a three ball. Dylan getting out of the stance and keeping a guard in front and challenging, or Chaney, just taking some pride in their one-on-one defense. And look, that'll serve us well if it can continue.
I know you mentioned Todd already, but I mean, what did you kind of see from him at point guard in the last 15 minutes of the game? He was almost in there the entire time. I know he wasn't a guy that you were necessarily expecting to play so much point guard. What did he show you in that game?
Well, because he could make special plays and special reads, quite frankly, because with Miles and with Chad Baker and with Denver all on that wing, there aren't as many minutes for him on that wing as I thought they were. So therefore, kind of pushed him into the point guard competition with Denver and JP. We're going to play 3 point guards. We will. Just because I need to have those minutes for all 3 of those guys, plus the minutes of the 2 and the 3. I think give Coach Ira Bowman credit. Ira helps me with the substitution. And then also giving Coach Damon Davis credit, our strength and conditioning coach. I thought our guys were in really good shape in November. Janai Broom played 33 minutes and did not take possessions off. So I think that Ira did a great job with the substitution pattern, because there really was no need. Now I got asked a couple questions, and one thing he does a great job is he asked me, now who do you want? Particularly in the last 4 minutes. And I just felt like that was the group right there. Miles Kelly could certainly and will certainly be out there at the end of games. But in this game, I felt like what we had out there was going to get it done.
Bruce, Chad in this game gets in foul trouble early, and then the second half, even after that rush shot that he missed, he hits that go-ahead 3, hits the game winner, hits the clutch free throws. Like, what does it just say about him and just his ability to finish even when the game didn't start off as well as he wanted?
Well, it's funny, and again, I just remind you guys, they're still young men, and Chad in particular is incredibly passionate, and he gets emotional, and so he was ready to play. I could see him in the warm-ups, I could see him in the pregame. He was really locked in, and then when he got those 2 fouls, man, it's been a long off season. This is an opportunity for him to get back into it, and 2 quick fouls, and now he's really disrupted. And it took him and the team towards the end of the game to get him back where he got right and ready and got himself back into a good state to be able to come out there and finish the game and help us win it.
All right, just last question, Coach. Tomorrow's military appreciation game. Can you just say something to our veterans
Yeah.
and what we hope to see tomorrow in the stands.
You know, we light up fireworks on 4th of July. We have Memorial Day parade, Memorial Day stuff on the weekend there. We celebrate a lot of different holidays, but it don't seem like we celebrate Veterans Day like we should. So obviously we're gonna honor our veterans by having some gear to remind that will remind people that are watching to thank these men and women for their service, to defend our country, to provide us with the liberties that we're able to enjoy. We're the greatest time to live in this great country of ours is right now, and being safe and secure. And these veterans and those that came before them are very responsible for it. And so, on behalf of a grateful nation, it's wonderful to be able to recognize those guys and honor those guys and tell them how much they mean to us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.